You're trying to get a job in esports. It's hard. And especially with COVID, if you're watching this in 2020, things are really tough right now. There might be more jobs, there might be less jobs depending on your industry, but you want to get in esports. Whether you have experience, whether you have no experience, whether you're in college, this is what we're going to talk about. How to get a job in esports in 2021 slash 2020. All right, first things first. Figure out what you want to do. This is so hard, and I think this is a huge barrier for everyone. I've been hit up so many times, be like, and I've totally been guilty of this, right? I've totally been there. I've totally done this where I'm just like, I just want a job in esports. I don't care what it is. I will mop your floors, TSM, at your new practice facility. I will do social media. I will do community management. I will learn how to video edit. I will make graphics for you. I'll do anything you want. Just give me a job. It doesn't matter. I just care so much about esports. Oh, my chat box. And I think that's honestly what a lot of us think, and we don't mean any ill intent by that, right? But that doesn't help. That doesn't help anyone. That doesn't help you. That doesn't help the company, right? So figuring out what you want to do is super, super important. So how do you figure out what you want to do? You got to do some research, right? You can look at, there's some podcasts out there. Dweeb, who's in chat, has started an esports career podcast. Go check that out. And you get to hear, like, what is it like being a community manager? Yeah. Go do research. Oh my gosh, I can't type. Go do some research. Figure out, what does a community manager do? There are so many videos on YouTube that are like, day in a life as a graphic designer, day in a life as a social media manager, day in a life of a product manager, day in a life of product manager, right? There's so many different things, and it doesn't even have to specifically be in esports, right? So just figure out what that looks like, because when you find out what it looks like as an agency, what social media managers do, probably be similar in esports, right? So go do your research, figure out what sounds interesting to you, right? And then you hear this a lot. I like so many different things. I don't know what to choose. I personally am so guilty of this, right? So they spend so much time trying to figure out, like, oh, what do I want to do? Because I want to do social media, so I like look a little bit into it, but I really like editing, so I'm gonna do some editing. Oh, but I really like this. Okay, so if you really like everything, then just choose one, right? You could flip a coin, you can do a random number generator, or you could just figure out, like, hey, what is my career path if I become a community manager? Or maybe it's like, hey, you know what? There are 1,000 times more jobs in job X, and there's like 3 jobs in job Y. So then these are the things you think about, like, strategically, what like makes sense to you. Because if you're really good at everything and you like everything, then it doesn't matter what you choose. Just choose one and just go with it and enjoy it, right? And this is what's going to happen. Once you figure out what direction you want to do and what you're going to explore, you're going to find out what you hate, right? This was me. I thought I wanted to be a social media manager, do social media stuff, community management stuff, and I think I would like community management stuff, but ultimately I don't think I can. The career path isn't right for me. I could be wrong, but that's what conclusions I made. But with social media manager, I started working at Ateo. It was an esports clothing brand company. I worked with them for 2 months on contract until I quit, because I'm like, I'm really bad at this, and this is really hard. I don't like organizing and scheduling tweets, and I'm not a really great copywriter. What I enjoyed about social media stuff is actually like interacting with fans, which is like more of that community management stuff. But ultimately, I'm like, I'm not really good at this, and I don't really like it. But all that information that I digested about social media marketing has made me better at what I do. I have to work closely with my current social media manager, and that makes our relationship work well. It helps me understand what her needs are and how I can help with that. And it also even shapes like how I make content to go on Twitter differently from Facebook, differently from Instagram, differently from blah, 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 right? So I don't even think it's a waste of time going 6 months, year, 5 years down the line and figuring out you like don't like it and you hate it, because that's still like really, really relevant education and like your own growth as a human being and whatever your career path is. So that's all. It's like really not that risky to go down a line or a path of a thing that because you're not sure if you'll like it or not. I think that's perfectly fine, right? Okay. Second thing to do, after you figure out what you want to do, right? You figure out what do you need to get hired. Ask yourself that. How do you do this? Job descriptions and people in the industry. Probably can take out research because we already covered that in the first one. So figuring this stuff out is really important. So let's look into this. You're going to go to hitmarker.net, for example. I've decided I want to be a social media manager. So I'm going to look for jobs that say this, right? And then what I'm going to do is look at the responsibilities. Do I know how to figure out social media strategies, right? I don't. So then I go social media strategy. And then I watch all this and just watch it all, right? I learned about how to actually create a social media strategy. Then you probably find out like, oh, okay, I kind of have this figured out. Oh, I don't think it's Buffer. Oh, it is Buffer.com. Look at this. I think Buffer has it. You can probably find out like how to pre-launch an Instagram on Instagram, the inside story of Jot's coffee social media strategy. So then you go, huh, what did they do? This is a case study. You read all this. It's such good content. You're absorbing it all. You're studying it all. You're taking notes. And then suddenly you're like, okay, even though I don't have the necessary experience, I know things. I know things in my head. And then hopefully you find ways to actually exercise it, right? What is KPI? Do you know what KPI is? Key performance indicator, right? So then you figure out what this means. Then you're like, okay, I need to manage social media content. That's obvious. Okay. How do you measure success on social media campaigns? That's interesting. I don't know that. You start Googling it, right? You can actually let's actually Google that. How to measure success of social media campaigns. Wow, even just like 5 easy steps to measure your social media campaigns. Maybe this sucks. Maybe it's good, but there's something out there, right? Stay up to date with latest social media practices and technologies. There's podcasts out there. There's so many content creators that do this kind of stuff. Attend events. Okay, so you need to be able to do events and do live coverage, right? So then this is what you're doing. You're going through all these kind of things and you're looking at job descriptions, job postings, and you're just writing down like, these are the 10 skills that I need, right? And then you're going to see like, wow, I've looked at 100 different job postings and every single one say these 4 things every single time. So that means I have to work on those 4 things and make sure I have those 4 things under my belt. Let's say you've done that. I'm looking for social media managers. You want to see what actually people have. Social media manager at Dignitas. Let's go check out Kenneth. Hopefully he actually has so he actually has like a filled out LinkedIn. So what has he done? Full time. Executed social media strategies. Okay. Interesting. Post frequency. Okay. Leverage social operation for clutch. Okay. Collaborated with marketing teams. Okay. Compile, develop. So you just read through this like, oh, what did this guy do? You can even figure out like what is his actual job experience. Oh, he got an internship. Cool. He has a communication degree. Maybe I need a communication degree, right? Maybe I look into that because I'm like in high school. Oh, this guy streamed for 2 years. Okay, interesting. What did he get from that? Oh, he's like actually fostered a relationship with brands. Okay, he was a community manager for 7 months and then became social media manager. Oh, that's interesting. That's how his career growth looks like. How can I map my career growth to match this person's? Right? Maybe it makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. Let's look at some other people. Optic Gaming. Hunter Brain. Cool name. Experience. What's his experience like? Let's start from all the beginning. Wait, so he was a graphic design intern? Like, so how does graphic design turn into social media management, right? Then suddenly you realize like, oh, you actually need Photoshop experience to be a social media manager at, 40% of the job descriptions. Maybe that's the case, right? That's one of the reasons why I learned how to video edit and use Photoshop, because I realized community managers and social media managers needed those skills to post content and create content. Creative director, interesting. Event coordinator, okay, so he has event coordination experience, right? We saw that in that job posting, that being able to go to events and do live production, but even actually, event contractor. Either way, understanding events and live events and online events, that's important. Oh, he's worked in partnerships and office admin, and now he's social media manager, digital media manager. Okay, cool. So that's how you become a social media manager at Optic, right? So you continue to do this. You do this in people that are not even in esports. And you see like what their resume looks like. Ooh, not a lot of white space. A visual. That's interesting. She has 2 types of resumes. Do I need 2 types of resumes? These are the things that you need to be asking yourself, right? So you just find people that are pros at this and have done it. And do lots. And then you go, hey, you know what? I need to connect and I need to message this person. So that's how you actually find other people. And I would even say, like, you look on Twitter. You figure things out too. For example, I find out that this person is social media marketing for Golden Guardians and Warriors Gaming. So then I like stalk, see if there's anything interesting. Maybe this person's not right. Maybe it is. But then you go like, you know what? I'm going to follow. And then I'm going to message, hey, blah, 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 blah. That was really incoherent and sounded really weird. But yeah, this is how you start doing your research. And this is how you start also networking, which we've talked a lot about. There's a video on it. This is on YouTube. It's going to be, the link to the video is going to be in the description or on that, the card that pops up, right? So those are ways to figure out like, what do you need to do? What are the skills that you need to get hired? 3. Then how are you going to get those skills? Right? Doing as much research as possible is not going to do anything if you have no actual results. So how are you going to actually get those skills, right? Let's say you have 0 experience. You realize like, I want to be a social media manager, but the only experience I have is my own Twitter account that has 3 followers. And I post memes every now and then. Then this is what you do. Volunteer. Internship. Feels bad, man. Actually, no, it goes sector. Social media. So then you go, this is where you start. If you have no experience, you do free work. Sorry. Because this is the thing. The chance that you're going to find a paid job when you have no experience is really, really small. And maybe you can find it, but it's going to take you like 7 months, 6 months. You need to get lucky, wait for the right timing, wait for the right job to happen to actually get a chance. But free work, you can find right away, because these people can't pay you. They can't ask for much. So you actually have the leverage when you're doing free work, right? Because you can always walk away. You can do it professionally without burning bridges, right? You can walk away from a situation because you have control because you are the talent. Right? And what I would do is you look at all these experiences, you reach out, you apply, but you also do your research. Because you're going to find out that some of these, at least back in the day, I don't know if Hitmarker has improved this or not, but back in the day, you'd find out like, I applied to this 17-year-old kid that wants to start his own Fortnite clan. And, there's some ambitious 17-year-olds and that's cool, but sometimes it's just like, oh, it's not legit. It's some guy that just has a dream but has no experience and is actually not going to do it, right? But you find maybe some legit organizations, maybe a website, you vet who you're working for and you'd be like, how can I get the experience I want to get out of this? Right? You have the leverage when you're doing free work. You just don't have monetary leverage, right? So then you start gaining these experiences and then you're going to find out some of these suck. Again, you're going to get this like right away. You can start working next week, working for free next week, right? You can even find ways outside of esports to gain these experiences. Like you can find a local business and you can be like, hey, mom and pop hardware store. I'm trying to gain social media experience. You guys are old. You guys don't understand social media. Let me work for free and let me help you guys try to build a social media presence. I think they probably won't say no. That's pretty cool. A clever idea to like get that kind of experience. Anyway, find free work and kill it, and do it for 3 months and leave because it's a toxic environment and this place isn't right, or it's gaining no traction or whatever. And then jump to another one and another one and another one, or maybe you get really lucky and you find like a really good fit early on. Like that happened with me. Coach Shido is one of the guys that I met through like free work, and that was a pretty cool organization to be a part of, and I learned a lot, right? And I brought them a lot of value. So not only am I helping networking, but I'm also just like, I have suddenly achievements and impact that I can put on my resume, right? Go find free work. Anything. Do it for yourself. Let's say you're an editor. Do you really need a client to learn how to video edit and to actually practice those skills? No, you can just do it. You can find courses. Oh yeah, another thing is like find courses, free and paid. Actually exercise that stuff. You know, spend $5 and run a Facebook ad for, I don't know, your 0 subscriber YouTube channel just because you want to figure out how to do it, right? Watch tutorials on how to do Facebook ads if you need to learn how to do paid campaigns on social. And I've already kind of started talking about this. Fourth thing is actually do it. Yeah. Find your own project. Figure out how you're going to do it yourself. If you're video editing, create a YouTube channel. If you're doing social media, like create a meme account. Create an esports industry thing. Create. So maybe, how are you going to get the skills and do it? Maybe that's it. Once you get good enough, get paid work. You know, look for those freelance gigs. Look for YouTubers that need help. Look for full-time jobs, part-time jobs. Look for any paid work once you start developing those skills, right? And that's going to legitimize your work too. You're going to be able to suddenly say like, oh, it wasn't just a volunteer thing, and I did work for TSM. I did video edits for Golden Guardians. I've made memes for Immortals. Those kind of things. Now, as you're getting those skills and actually working on those skills, I think this is actually the secret sauce that no one knows about. This is the hardest thing. Find inspiration, motivation, and support. This was literally, I think, one of the biggest ways I got into esports, because it helped help avoid burnout, help avoid depression, helps avoid negativity. This was so important for me. How did I do this? When I was doing social media stuff, every day when I was in engineering, I grabbed Chipotle lunch. Well, not every day, but I grabbed lunch, and then I watched a video. So I'd eat lunch at my desk and watch a video, because this person is putting out so much content. I'm learning more things about social media, and I'm hearing someone that's like rooting in my corner, just like being inspirational and telling me like, trust the process, or this is what you need to learn, or like grinding is hard and you're going to be depressed and it's tough at the top, you know? But like, I know I'm hearing constantly over and over again that you can do it and it's possible. And suddenly the negative thoughts that I have at night laying in bed where it's like, wow, my YouTube channel has no views, are replaced by someone's telling me like how to actually do it, and you can do it. Right? Maybe this isn't your person. Maybe it's video creators, because you want to start your YouTube channel. And you know, he uploads once a week or multiple times a week, and you start watching the stuff. And then you're like, I need more. I need more. I need more. So I go find Think Media and I learn more about YouTube stuff. And I'm just like, oh, I need more. YouTube guru. And then suddenly, I don't want to type that in. YouTube. Wow. Searching YouTube in YouTube. That's a big brain, right? I start following these people and finding the right people, right? Gary Vee, for example, rubs people the wrong way. So instead of finding Gary Vee, find someone else, right? Maybe I like Nick better than Roberto Blake. Either way, find ways to continue getting your inspiration, keeping you motivated, and keeping you like not depressed. Seriously, it's such a big deal, right? And I think wrong one. I think another one is like find your community. And that's a big reason why I've created this. I've created this Discord channel, which I'm going to link again for anyone that's new in here. Like, this stuff is hard. This stuff is really hard. Like, if anyone's been to college or high school, like, that was hard too. You know, and you had a support system around you. When you're doing something where there's like not a set curriculum and that requires so much of you as an individual, just being able to self-motivate yourself and work hard by yourself, it's really, really hard. So finding people that are like-minded, because there's less of us. You know, what do your parents know about like getting into esports? You know, what do your friends that might play a lot of games but don't follow esports like really know about like how hard it is to make a YouTube channel, or you know, social media, because they're just on, you know, Snapchat and Instagram all day just scrolling, but they're not like putting out content. Finding people like-minded like you that are working towards the same thing is so important, because people don't get the struggle. So I think this is like really, really big, because people burn out. It's really, really hard. But you can do it when you have people in your corner, people rooting you on, people helping with your resume reviews. And that's like what I want to create here, right? That's what this whole Discord channel is. That's what my channel is dedicated to, is like helping you guys, helping people in the community find their esports dreams, whether it's them getting into esports or whether it's like people that are already in esports, like trying to figure out what they're trying to do with their career, what they want to do that provides them value, what makes them like be able to sleep at night, you know? And the reason why I do this is because I found it myself. And I'm still looking for it now again, like what that looks like now that I'm in esports. So I think this is like this last point is like the biggest thing, because without this, you get burnout. You straight up get depression. Like we've seen this in the esports and gaming community, right? And there's so much negativity out there. So follow these 4 steps. This is how you get a job. You have, if you're watching this right now, it's August 1st. You have, August is the 9th month. You have 3 months before 2021 starts. You have probably, I don't know, year, 8 months, whatever, before COVID stops. You know, companies start gaining money again. Esports and gaming is doing okay when it comes to like hiring and stuff, and the industry and making money and not freezing so many jobs, but it still has slowed down in general. You might not be ready now, so get ready when the time comes. Oh, the other thing is be patient. Maybe that's the last one. Actually, the last one. Patience. Figure out your process or strategy, and trust it. If it's right. And then just grind. Just grind. Keep your head down and work hard. Keep your head down and work hard. Keep your head down and work hard. That's the last thing. Be patient. That's all I have for you guys for this video.